Welcome, Martina. For those who are listening, I'm Kirsten Lota of Osage University Partners and one of the founders of Equalize, which Dr. Martina Roos participated in back in 2020. Sardona Therapeutics, of which Martina is the CEO and co-founder, seeks to revolutionize treatment options for therapy-resistant cancer patients. While working as an assistant professor at UCLA, Dr. Roos began developing Sardona's cancer treatment technology of small molecules to target RNA-binding proteins. Today, Dr. Roos and her team are dedicated to refining their novel cancer treating technology and growing Sardona as a whole. So we're really happy to have you back here again and talking with us and talking with potential equalizers, people who are associated with the Equalize program and are interested in what's going on with it. And so I'd love to hear what Sardona has been up to since the last time you caught up with Equalize back in September of 2021.
Well, thanks, Christian, for having me. Well, it's been an amazing product and productive and exciting year. As you just mentioned, at Sardona, we are developing small molecules that target RNA-binding proteins to really provide patients with therapy and resistant cancers new and potentially durable treatment options. And since we last spoke, we have validated our lead program, generated really exciting in vivo proof of concept data, and grew a robust pipeline of novel precision medicine oncology therapeutics for genetically defined cancers. We were able to do this by raising $15 million in funding and are currently a team of 10 employees. And so it's really impressive to see what our nimble and passionate team has been achieving. And we're very excited to bring a new and potentially transformative class of therapies to patients.
Yeah, well, congratulations to you on the funding and growing the team. That's really excellent to hear about. What are you particularly excited about in the coming months about Sardona's development?
Yeah, there are a couple aspects I'm really looking forward to. On the drug development side, we are excited to advancing the lead program to the clinic. It's a very novel mechanism of action to target deregulated RNA processing in the PI3K alpha and TOR pathway. And so we have a couple of important milestones coming up that will allow us to select a very specific molecule to get into IND-enabling studies. And we anticipate to start phase 1 clinical trials later in 2024. So these milestones will be key. Also excited about leveraging the insights we have gained from our lead program and to build on our platform. We have an exciting and interesting program in place targeting NRF2 signaling and undruggable oncogenic signaling pathway. And then from a team perspective, I'm personally very much looking forward to expand on our leadership team and get the opportunity to continue working and learning with and from the very best.
That is fantastic, both on the scientific clinical development side as well as the team side. Again, that's congratulations to you. I'd love to talk more about you in particular. Can you recount your experience launching and spinning out your startup? So kind of go through that with us. And what were some of the best decisions you made during the process of creating your startup? And what do you think you could have done differently that you've learned from experience now?
Well, overall, it's been an extremely rewarding experience. I feel really privileged to be given the opportunity to start a company from scratch, out licensing an asset from academia, building and growing a very interdisciplinary, nimble team, recruiting very talented RNA scientists, highly experienced drug development, business and finance experts, and also that we are able to deliver to our investors who support Sardona and our mission since day one. I think if I think about key decisions that we were able to make early on was the ability to be supported and to find really important mentors, advisors, and board members to us that have done it and have been there, and also have the very same values of company culture. And I'm thrilled that Sardona can count on such a network of people. And I really believe it is instrumental to the progress we have been making over the past year. Things I would do differently, I would say not to compromise on people. Drug discovery and development is only as successful as the people who live and do it every day. And so it's important that people can be their authentic selves at work and work well together in a team. And I think it's really fundamental to assemble and inspire a team that has and lives the same values every day.
I think that's a terrific piece of advice, not to compromise on the people that you're bringing into, this, and especially because it's a smaller environment and it needs to be a close team when you're putting your startup together. That's a great piece of advice. What were some top obstacles you faced when building Sardona, and how were you able to overcome them?
Gaining trust from investors, pharma partners, but also future team colleagues for something new and innovative really takes time. I think balancing the many important aspects of a startup CEO, for example, overseeing science, operations, building a team, fundraising, just to name a few. I think this is a daily challenge, and every startup founder has experienced the same. It just takes relentless consistency, persistence, resilience, sometimes almost anti-fragility, to work through all the no's until you get a yes. And I think that's really key to get there.
Terrific. Great. Leaving academia is a major move for an assistant professor. Did you have any initial reservations about leaving academia?
I'm a very curious person and incredibly passionate about leveraging the potential of RNA binding proteins to bring a new class of precision oncology therapeutics to patients. And I think there's nothing more rewarding than having the opportunity to make a difference in a cancer patient's life. So to me, the opportunity to wake up in the morning and to be working towards finding therapeutic solutions for something that is so important, and then also in parallel work alongside an equally passionate team of stellar scientists and drug discovery and development experts, mentors and advisors. It's simply amazing, and I just can't imagine a better job.
That's great. Well, obviously you were following your passion there, and where your interests were lying. So thus far, what was the best piece of advice or constructive criticism you received as a CEO?
Alignment, I would say alignment is key at every level. And my chairman always reminds me to make sure that the board, but also the team is up to date and always aligned, and that there are no surprises. It's a very dynamic process. Similarly, like to the board being aligned, a team or having an aligned team is the basis that we are all pushing into the same direction and drive projects forward. So I think alignment needs a lot of work and communication. And so something that I'm working on every day.
Yeah, communication is critical to that alignment happening, that people understand what is happening. Even if there's a disagreement about, the way forward, having those open lines of communication, people understanding what it is and having productive discussion around that, I think is a key to then achieving that alignment. So really good point there. In regards to initial funding, how were you able to raise and secure initial investment? For example, were there specific events or groups that provided a pathway for you to start raising that capital?
Yeah, there were a couple accelerator programs that really helped gain access to a world-class network of company builders, entrepreneurs, and biotech professionals. And the inaugural Equalize class that you mentioned in the introduction, Equalize 2022, was one such stepping stone where I met with a couple terrific mentors whom I'm in contact till today that were really dedicated and devoted significant time to help building Sardona and providing critical mentorship on a diverse range of topics, and have been since amazing cheerleaders.
That's great. And I love the fact that obviously these are people that you're continuing to keep in touch with, years after the program as well, and or continuing to be kind of those support and champions as well. So that's terrific to hear. People often ask about funding and obstacles and starting such a new venture because it's kind of one of the things at the forefront of people's minds. But is there anything you don't get asked about when you have interviews like this that you find has been particularly surprising about founding a startup company?
I'm not sure about surprising, but I rarely get asked about relationship building. And I think that's one piece of advice I think is absolutely key, especially if someone is a first-time founder with less of a track record in biotech, to continuously invest in building relationships. It can be with investors, pharma partners, or also current and future team colleagues, by consistently providing evidence of performance and being reliable and growing and nurturing high quality relationships with the right people. That really takes time, but is absolutely invaluable on the long run.
It's really, really good point on relationships and how critical they are, and investing the time to create those relationships. So it's been a few years since you made this move from being an assistant professor to being the founder and the CEO of the company. Were there particular aspects of the Equalize program that helped you decide to make this particular leap?
Well, I think I mentioned it before. It was really the ability to have the access to a network of experienced biotech entrepreneurs and investors that I could start building on, and knowing that there is this really great foundation and basis, but also this safe space that Equalize provided to start creating and building. I think that was for me a key point to decide and make the leap.
Great, thanks. Finally, do you have pieces of advice for future Equalize pitchers in their pursuits of entrepreneurship?
I would say have a clear vision, tell a good story, build evidence on rigorous data to support the story and therapies for patients. Then grow a well-connected network of mentors and advisors, and be willing to go all in. I think the full potential of everyone is far beyond than what we believe, and so one should not limit ourselves.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Martina, for taking the time. I know you are incredibly busy, obviously being the CEO of a startup company of Sardona. We are really grateful for you taking the time to catch up with us and talk about your experience since the Equalize program, but also what helped you with regards to the Equalize program. And we should wish you absolutely the best continued success.
Well, thank you, Kirsten, and congratulations again on such an amazing program. Really proud to be an alumni.
And we're so proud to have you be an alum as well. Thank you so much.